we're going to look at dividing a number and writing the remainder as a decimal. So if we look at this calculation, 63 divided by 5 we know that that is not going to be a whole number answer because 63 is not in our 5 times table. So what I'm going to do is just make that box a little bit longer, and we'll see why as we go along. So I'm going to work as normal and say 6 divided by 5. Well, that's 1. 1 5 is 5, and there is 1 left over. And then 13 divided by 5. So 13 divided by 5 would be 2, because 2 5s are 10. And I have a remainder of 3. Now, instead of writing remainder 3 in my answer, what I want to do is get a decimal. So if you've already seen how to divide a decimal number, then we're going to use the same process. So all I need to do is put the decimal point in, because that's the end of my whole number. It's 63. So if I want to add any digits after that, they've got to be decimals, so it doesn't change my whole number. I've got a remainder of 3, which I normally write in front of my next digit, but there is no digit. The only digit that I can put in here without changing the number I started with, 63, is a 0, because 63.0 is exactly the same as 63. And now I can complete this calculation, because here's my remainder, making now 30. Divided by 5 is 6. So my answer is 12.6. And that's exactly the same as the remainder of 3. 12 remainder 3, now expressed as a decimal, 12.6. Let's look at another example. This time we've got 55, and because it's an odd number, we can see it's not going to be exactly divisible by 4. So 55, and I'm just making a slightly longer box because I know I'm going to end up with a decimal answer. Divided by 4. Okay, so let's start with 5 divided by 4. Well, that's 1 with a remainder of 1. And then 15 divided by 4, 3 4s would be 12, which leaves me with a remainder of 3. So my answer would be 13 remainder 3. But I want to express it as a decimal. So we put the decimal point in, and 55.0, nothing has changed about that number. So now I can put my remainder of 3. 30 divided by 4 is 7. But there's a remainder still, because 7 multiplied by 4 would be 28. So that leaves a remainder of 2. So what I need to do is put an extra 0 in so that I can write my remainder. And now I've got 20 divided by 4, which is 5. So my answer is 13.75. And it's just important to remember that we only ever have one decimal point in a number. So when we add our extra 0, we don't need to put a decimal point as well. We have one after we've finished our whole number part, and then the rest is a decimal part, so we do not need another decimal point here. This one is the only one we need.